Hello, everybody. This is the post-movie show. I can't do it. I
Doesn't roll
can't
off
do
the
it,
tongue,
man.
does it?
I can't. It doesn't.
Fuck them. Call it a podcast. People laugh at me because I still have an AOL account. Fuck them.
Hey, everybody. This is the post-movie podcast. I'm Steve Head.
I'm John Black.
And on this episode, we're going to talk about new Blu-ray and DVD releases, of which we have a number of very exciting things to talk about here, right here.
Wow.
In the
Wow. Those acting classes have paid off, huh?
Oh, my
What
God.
country was that of? What country of origin was that person
That
from?
was Cajun.
Cage? Nicolas Cage?
Hey, you know, I just got news that the movie that I worked on, that I had like a very small, minor part in, that may have me on screen for like 2 seconds or not at all. Here Comes the Boom. It's going to open October 12th, 2012. My birthday.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
Are you junketing? Can people come to Brookline and interview you?
It was a whole lot of sitting around. And so who knows what's going to end up on screen. You know?
This could be the break you've been looking for.
I don't. You know,
I can't wait to review your performance.
You might not even be able to tell that it was me in the movie.
Then
So the funny thing is that I've learned from this before. I mean, I've done small bits in movies before, and you know, and I've been like, watch for me here, watch for me there, you know what I mean? But then it's like, you know, they don't use this shot or they don't use this thing, and then you end up being like, I never should have said anything, you know?
Right.
So
Still.
well, I really screwed that up.
You just did.
Here
Well,
comes the movie.
maybe, while we wait, we've got months for that. What have you got this
Yeah.
week as far as home viewing goes?
Well,
You want to start
I
with
don't
Tower
know.
Heist?
I haven't seen Tower Heist, John.
I can tell.
You know? And already I'm developing an
Oh,
attitude about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to defend
I'm just
it
going to
because.
fucking like it out of spite.
That's right. That's right. It's the best fucking movie ever, asshole.
Which, by the way, it comes out on Blu-ray February 21st.
See?
The thing that bothered me about Tower Heist was the fact that it represents to me the change in film distribution from going, you know, right to on demand before it even hit theaters. And man, they worked it, and it failed, and just the whole idea of that to me just fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how is that supposed to help movie theaters? I mean, what the fuck? Comcast?
Well, if they had concentrated a little more on making a funnier movie, they wouldn't have to worry
it
about it.
just pulls back the rug and says, here are all the cockroaches. Guess what? We're all about money.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, really? Because Brett Ratner, Eddie Murphy, and Ben Stiller never really, they always appeared to me like they were in it for the art. But, you know, I think the on-demand stuff works great.
I haven't seen the movie yet, John.
I know. I'm poisoning the well. I think the on-demand aspect of it works well for small indie movies that middle America will never see. But why they have to, you know, a big bloated comedy like this to dump it.
What was it? Was it like $30 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like you're going to invite your friends over and see this. Hey, everybody, I've got a pay-per-view of Tower Heist. Come on over.
It was an experiment. And I think...
I'm glad it blew up in their fucking faces.
I wonder if it worked against the film's theatrical release by doing that. I mean, Brett Ratner was there on repeat. You know how they have those little repeat videos that they show when you go into the Comcast?
Right, we're trying to decide what porn you're going to watch, and there's Brett Ratner saying, we decided to launch it in a different platform this year. It kind of ruins my drive for porn, and that takes a lot. What? Oh, I'm sorry.
When I go on the Comcast, I'm basically looking for The Office, The Cleveland Show,
right,
Portlandia.
That's what I tell everyone, too.
Community, which unfortunately isn't on.
Right. Sometimes I'll look for cooking shows. You know, I'm always on the. I don't know. I admit it. I'm not looking for anything.
Can we move on to something we love?
Well, no. I want you to give. You're the first review this week, so make it something you love.
Tower Heist.
No, you haven't seen Tower
Heist. I'm going to keep an open mind about Tower Heist, and I'm going to watch it.
Do your best. You do your best, little soldier. We'll see what happens.
The Apartment, new on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Wilder, 1960. the difference between you and me, as we've said many times, is I fucking love special features.
Right.
You know, the commentaries, the featurettes, all the bullshit that probably drives other people nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy who does the commentary on The Apartment is just on his game about film history.
Right.
You know, the DVD producers, they get the right guys every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I fucking love it when they do like historian, you know, film historian commentaries or film critic commentaries. You know, like Ebert does on Citizen Kane and Dark City.
Right.
And when they do the film historian commentaries, it's just so much more information, you know, as opposed to the last thing I want to hear is Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about remembering filming a scene.
Arnold Schwarzenegger does the comment for The Apartment. The Jack Lemmon, he's really good.
Yeah.
I would like to bang Shirley MacLaine.
I mean, we've all seen The Apartment. Well, assuming many of us have seen The Apartment, but what's great about the Blu-ray is the information on the commentaries and the featurettes, and it's really good stuff.
Featurettes I don't mind, but commentaries is still someone talking through a movie to me, and it pisses me off.
Oh my God!
Might as well have some.
It's
guy
like
behind me on
talking
his
during
cell
the
phone.
yes, but it's information, John. It's really you can really learn about a film. The Criterion commentaries, you really learn a lot about the
watch
movie.
the movie. They should have it as a separate. You know, if they did a separate documentary about the movie, that's fine. Or if they did interviews as an addition to it, but to sit there and have some guy talk through the movie is so annoying.
I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah, you could.
I love it. In fact, I love falling asleep to them. I've told you that before.
Aww.
They put me to sleep.
And that's a good thing.
No, it's just
Comforting.
yeah. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm learning about movies.
And do you want to know another big difference between us, Steve?
Wow.
You started off the show with a classic, an acknowledged classic, The Apartment.
Yes.
A Billy Wilder
I know
film.
where we're going with
A
this.
Billy Wilder film.
Well, technically, we
And
did
then-
talk about Tower Heist, but
Well, yeah, but
I
your
haven't seen it,
first
so.
recommendation was an acknowledged Oscar-winning classic, right?
Yeah.
Did it win Oscars?
Best Picture, 1960.
See?
John.
Which you probably learned from the commentary.
All right. Okay. All right.
And then we turn the mic over to me, and what do I recommend? Dead Hooker in a Trunk.
That was the original title of The Apartment.
Yeah. It had no commentary. This is by the Sosker sisters, Jen and Sylvia.
Ladies.
Yes. And there is a featurette on this that's called Rebels Without a Budget. They had no budget for this movie. It's about three girls and a guy who come out of a party one night to find a dead hooker in the trunk. And what do? Kind of like what's that Scorsese movie, After Hours?
Yeah.
Kind of this crazy late night thing. I admire what they did with no budget. They were great characters. There's lots of gore. It was fun. It was fast paced. It was shot on video, but it didn't look like it was shot on my cell phone. The Jen and Sylvia Soska were great actresses for what this is. It was just so much fun. So much fun. That, let's put it this way. The Quentin Tarantino and Eli Roth bestow his high honor of the movie by calling it fucking awesome. But they're whores, too. They'll put fucking awesome to anything. It's an IFC film. I would highly recommend it. And it's the same day I got this. So I get Dead Hooker in a Trunk, and I get Nude Nuns with Big Guns. So I'm set for the day.
Same company?
At least. Not the same company. In fact, Nude Nuns was on Blu-ray, which I couldn't figure.
Right.
So this is my double feature, right?
DHIAT.
DHIAT.
Dead Hooker in a Trunk.
Right. So I sit down, I watch Dead Hooker. It's a lot of fun. I throw in Nude Nuns, and it was awful. It was everything this movie wasn't. It was overproduced. It was conscious that it was trying to be
just
cool.
didn't have the whole tongue-in-cheek
Yeah, that's just
approach.
it. The Soska sisters didn't try to be cool. They just tried to make a kick-ass movie, and they did, and it's cool as a result. The guys who did Nude Nuns were very conscious of the fact that, we've got a great title now, let's make a movie. So I recommend Dead Hooker in a Trunk. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize for that.
I wasn't. It wasn't.
Do you
sorry.
feel guilty for
I wasn't
liking
sorry. I
Dead
was actually
Hooker in
going
the
to. I was
Trunk?
actually no. I said I recommend Dead Hooker in the Trunk, and I was going to say.
Do you think that there's some of our listeners out there that would feel put off by the fact that you really love Dead Hooker?
Not
in
if
the
they
Trunk?
know me.
You're apologizing to them?
No, I wasn't saying sorry. I was saying starring, and I was going to make a Shirley.
Starring?
I was going to make a Shirley MacLaine joke, but then I couldn't think of the joke, and it came out like I was apologizing. I will never apologize for liking Dead Hooker in the Trunk. Never. All right, let's move on.
I guess this is something we could agree on. And I don't even know if I want to say that it's good. It's just unusual. And we'd mentioned it, I think, briefly a couple times on prior episodes.
Right.
But I finally got to watching it. Jerry Lewis is the jazz singer. It's just because we know his career.
Yeah.
And then to see this, it's just weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it has great weirdness value. And the color looks great.
You see, there's two versions on
It's
this
like-
disc. There's a color and a black and white.
Right. This we should tell people really quickly. This is a 1959
Television
NBC
movie?
TV movie. It's about an hour long, and in some markets, I guess it was originally broadcast in color, and so that's what Jerry Lewis is. That's what Jerry Lewis saved. He had saved a color version of this, and it was in his personal archive. And his son helped restore it, and we've got the DVD.
You know, it's
There's a
funny.
short featurette on it. Chris,
I watched it in black and
Lewis.
white.
Yeah. There are slight differences.
Yeah, I would watch it. I will watch it again in color because it's only an hour long.
Yeah.
It's a dramatic piece. Jerry plays a nightclub entertainer, a singer comic, who gets a chance to be on an Anna Maria Alberghetti TV special as his big break.
There's a name for you. That, by the way, I think is the girl that was in Cinderfella.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But then the other point of the other plot going on here is that Jerry was being raised by his father to be the cantor at his synagogue and throws it all away for a show business career, which gets him, of course, banished from his family. And as he's making a success of it, he comes back home and tries to mend ways with his dad. It doesn't work well. And then they, just as Jerry is about to go on stage for the big TV special, he gets a message that his dad is sick and can't perform the big Jewish service, whatever the name of that is. And so Jerry comes back and does the big service in clown makeup. He goes through all this shit, but he doesn't take time to wipe off the clown makeup from his face, so he sings this song in the synagogue with clown makeup.
Well,
That was the weird
because,
part for me.
His family came to the theater
Right
before he was supposed to go on.
Right, baggy
And
pants.
we're
clown.
creating this whole holdup to do. Like, his father is such an asshole. He just is like give his son no freedom.
He could
it's
also
talk
be,
about being like, super strict and just like no give whatsoever.
Right.
Of course, he was destined to always be in a bad mood. I mean, the guy just was immovable.
You can see him as a total asshole. I guess you could see him as a deeply religious Orthodox man too.
Yeah.
I mean, but I just never understood.
His life is just like,
well,
it's the way he sees life. Everything is through his like religious paradigm.
Right. It's just he's the sixth generation of cantors. And they give him a award.
Oh my God! There was that horrible painting above the fireplace.
Do you remember the Simpsons episode where Krusty the Clown was gonna? His dad came back looking for him to be a cantor.
Yeah.
Same story.
In a way, it's kind of like a Sandy Koufax thing. Like, you can't pitch on
Sundays.
You can't pitch on whatever the Jewish high holiday is there.
Saturday.
No.
Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur.
Right.
Yeah.
When I was talking to Dan Kimmel, who's of the faith, he was telling me the names of everything, but they kind of just went one in or out the other. So
did Dan like it?
he thought he's like us. He thinks it's an oddity. He couldn't understand why Jerry didn't stop to wipe the clown makeup. If you're going to be the cantor at this deeply important religious ceremony, wipe your face.
Maybe they didn't have makeup remover in 1959.
Yeah, right. So he had to wear this clown makeup for the rest of his life.
There is one difference between the color version and the black and white version. The black and white version, at the end of it, they have a short clip for next week's episode, which is John Frankenheimer's Turn of the Screw adaptation. John Frankenheimer's adaptation of Turn of the Screw with Ingrid Bergman
and Jerry Lewis. No,
no. You're looking at me like, Steve, you're so smart.
No, you are.
You're so smart.
You're hip and cool too.
Yeah. John, what else you got?
All right, now I actually do have a classic, which I'd never seen before. A Star Is Born.
Oh,
how many versions of this movie are there?
Well,
At least
shocked.
3, right?
Yeah, I didn't think
Barbara
that would
Streisand and Chris Christopherson, Judy Garland and whoever she was in it with, and then this one, I think this was the first with Janet Gaynor and Frederick March. William Wellman's 19...
And you know they're probably remaking it again right now with someone else.
1937. Probably. Well, the artist is kind of a takeoff on this story too. Young girl lives out in the Midwest or wherever. She lives in a cabin in the wilderness. Dreams of being a star. Goes to Hollywood. Gets a job as a caterer at a big producer's party. Gets discovered and becomes a star. Meanwhile, there's this established star, played by Frederick March, Norman Maine, who is at the top of his, the pinnacle of stardom, but he's also a drunk. And as they fall in love, her career rises, his tumbles, and, things happen. I guess it's supposed to be a classic tearjerker because it's got a sad ending. But the thing I liked about it was the performances. I don't know Frederick March movies or Janet Gaynor movies that much. They're both great in the movie. And the view it gives you, now 1937, the view it gives you of Hollywood and how stars are made is hilarious. There's a press man always there typing everything, and right. The hair and makeup test she has to go through, and, the way his movies flop and she becomes such a celebrity. It was just really entertaining. I just had a blast. And I felt a little sad.
Who produced this?
Who produced it?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What
studio?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Oh.
Preserved by the George Eastman House Motion Picture Department. Whatever. And the only extras on it are some wardrobe tests that look pretty silly. But it looks great on Blu-ray. And now it made me, I just set my recorder to tape the Judy Garland.
Yeah.
But why? All right, this one's just a little over 2 hours. The Judy Garland pick is like 3 hours. What the fuck? What do they do? Add a lot of songs?
And the Chris Christopherson one is like 4.5.
Well, yeah, and why would, and that's a 4-hour Barbara Streisand movie. And I was thinking about this last night.
No.
How many Barbara Streisand movies have I seen? 3?
Oh, my God.
I
don't even want to go there.
And I'm not going to sit through that one,
What I'm thinking of right now is we saw Project X last night, and I'm thinking of the scene where the guy, throws up into the window of the car. That's what I think of when I think of Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did see her Fokker movie, so that was good. Anyway.
John, did you see this? Oh, my God, you're right. The Fokkers. That was the last Barbara Streisand thing, wasn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Holy crap.
Starring Ben Stiller, who also was in
Horrifying.
Tower Heist.
Yeah. Don't even.
Did I
But
see that?
I think we both did like this. This is the Phantom of the Opera at the Royal Albert Hall. I was amazed. It's just basically a live performance of an all-star game for the Phantom of the Opera. The music is amazing, and the talent that these people show on stage is it's real. It's like actual talent that isn't influenced by editing.
Right.
Talent that isn't influenced by incredible movie sound effects.
That's the thing I really liked about this is that the camera is there just to capture the theatrical performance.
And it does. It has this atmosphere of when it gets into the creepy reveal of the Phantom. You're kind of wowed by it. I think there's a large wow factor.
Yeah.
To this Blu-ray, and then seeing it in high def
looks beautiful and sounds great. The guy who plays the Phantom and the woman who plays Christine, great voices, great. And the thing is, they're not just great voices too. They give good performances in the movie, and it is a movie. I mean, I would love to have seen this on the big screen. It was one of those things where they showed it live, on for one night in theaters kind of thing. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the musical anyway. So to see it done well.
It was one of these things that I felt guilty about watching it. Oh my God,
What if other critics see me watching this?
It's great.
It's like getting caught with porn.
We're throwing some real exclamation points at this movie.
But it's not
a movie.
So
it's like 3 hours of Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. because
and the costumes, man, the way
there's
that
no
the
expense
detail that you
spared.
see in the high def, the way that the women's dresses, the props, just the detail it's fascinating.
Yeah, and the thing is that this isn't a lot of times when they have like a 25th anniversary, they either have a staged concert where people go up to the microphone and sing their parts, or they do some stunt casting.
This is the narrative of the show.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't like performance pieces. You might be thinking of the Les Miserables
right. When
version,
they had their anniversary, it was just
thing.
people coming up to the microphone and, now I'll sing the song that everyone knows. This, or they just had, the Sondheim Musical Company.
Yeah.
They just did a thing at Lincoln Center, and it had like Neil Patrick Harris and Stephen Colbert and stunt casting, for this one night benefit. They didn't do that here. They gave it, these are Broadway performers.
Yeah, it's the show.
And it's all about the show. It's not about, and here's Alec Baldwin.
Captures the spectacle
Phantom.
of it.
I had
and the voices, man. It's like, who are these people?
Yeah.
They live in theaters outside of cinema.
How do they survive?
They make a living somehow over there. John, what else you got?
I'm going to keep it with a musical theme. Talking Heads chronology. I'm a big Talking Heads fan since 1977, first album. This is basically, there's not really a story here until you kind of step back from it. It's a series of outtakes, home movie footage, concert footage, and it starts them off in a mic test in 1976 and follows it up to Life During Wartime in 2002. And you get to see, when you remember the movie Stop Making Sense?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was such a polished performance from these guys. There was David Byrne had a great personality. He played the audience. He was a performer. When you watch him sing Psycho Killer in 1975, he's barely mumbling into the microphone. And he has none of the I don't know, he doesn't work it. None of the charisma.
The show gets polished, over the years.
But I've seen him in concert a few times, and he's got a lot of charisma, and he definitely engages the audience. This was about, him standing behind the microphone and kind of, mumbling Psycho Killer into the microphone. But then to watch him over the course of these different songs they do in the thing, you get to watch him grow as a band and as an artist. I think it's, especially for a fan like me, it was a lot of fun.
I think watching Stop Making Sense in college for me was... that was like one of the memorable things.
Oh, yeah. Where'd you see it?
I saw it on Thayer Street in Providence, Rhode Island.
At the Avon?
Was it the Avon on Thayer Street?
Avon Cinema,
yeah. One cinema on Thayer Street in Providence. And it had played that week with, Christ, I think it was like a triple feature or something like that. It was in between The Fly and Aliens.
That's a triple feature.
Yeah.
I saw it in, I was going to school.
You were in Providence at the time? You were in Providence in like 87?
I grew up. I was in Stirling, Scotland.
Huh.
And they had weekends they would show movies on campus because there wasn't really fuck all else.
You went to school in Scotland?
Yeah.
Oh, that's news to me. For how long?
One semester. Actually, half a semester because I kind of spent all my money in that one half a semester. So anyway,
Mom, I'm coming home a little sooner than I thought.
No, actually, I just got engaged to be married. See,
in college, huh?
Yeah. Oh. Well, I didn't go to like the normal 4-year program. I took 8 years because I went part time. I don't have any student loans either.
The Bluto version of college.
Yes, it was definitely the Bluto version. But I remember seeing Stop Making Sense. They played it on campus. I went to the 7:00 show, went out and got really high, and then went back to the 9:30 show. Yeah. It's not easy to do in a foreign country. It takes practice. So anyway, and now I've seen it since. Now that I'm clean and sober, I've seen the movie, and I still like it. But anyway, this is a good trip down memory lane for Talking Heads fans.
Is it on Blu-ray? It just came out on?
No. Not the copy I got.
Huh.
And I don't think Blu-ray would add anything. It'd be kind of like, this is a lot of the film's grainy handheld, early video. Like, what did they use for video in 75, 76? Did they have video recorders? Probably like,
Yes, they had video recorders as early as...
Did they?
1960.
Really?
Yeah.
In the average person.
The playback for... Sony was developing the technology in the late 50s.
Right.
And, for example, the playback for the bellboy that was utilized by Jerry Lewis was video playback.
But I mean, just
recording
these
playback.
are people at a club. Would they have had access to video recorders back then?
What are we talking about here again?
75, 76?
I had a video camera in 79,
Okay.
so possibly.
Maybe.
If I, me, a kid, in Lake Forest, Illinois, had a video camera in 79, by the time it got to me, probably.
Yeah. Well, Spielberg was
I think
making
it
the
was
16 millimeters by the time he was, 3? Something like that. So anyway, I don't think it needs to be a Blu-ray thing. I don't think the sound quality's not good. The film is not good, but it's still it's raw.
Talking about what does look really good on Blu-ray and what is totally something that I I needed to see again because I was in such a bad mood the first time I saw it.
Wow.
Hugo came out on Blu-ray.
All right.
And I watched, of course, all the special features on it.
Right.
I'll probably be watching it again this week.
You were in a bad
couple
mood
of times
the first time?
Yeah, remember I thought that it was patronizing to film critics
Oh, God.
because it was showing us everything that we loved.
Are you over that now?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
And, he does show you everything you
God
love.
damn, man.
But
He's
it's
such
not
a good
film critics, it's
filmmaker.
film fans.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's a good movie.
And the extra features on the disc, they have a piece on Georges Méliès, and the movie is just basically it's like the movie is cut in half. The second half of the movie is about Méliès, and then they get in the half-hour featurette that they have on the disc and talks about his history.
Right.
And some of the guys at the studio got to do commentary on the add some comments to the Méliès piece on the disc. Where these are the Criterion folk. These are the
Right.
guys that really know the status of what's going on with Méliès films and the fact that every year one or two of them appear. He had made something like 500 films, 200 of which survive, and then every now and then, every year, one or two appear. And one of the ones that appeared recently was a color version of A Trip to the Moon.
Really?
Yeah, and they show some clips from that in the documentary on the disc. And what was interesting was that they also make the point that, like, while we were watching Hugo, it occurred to me later, like, holy shit, I'm watching this 3D version of A Trip to the Moon. I mean, this is footage that incredibly rare, but they've Scorsese took the time to transfer it into this new modern medium.
Right.
And another feature that they had on the disc that I really liked is that they show how they did the train crash at the station there, where the train goes through the wall on one side and then tips over onto the street. They go through that in detail. That was pretty cool. It's really a well-made disc.
Good.
It comes out in a week or two.
Yeah.
That and Puss in Boots, but I haven't watched all of that yet, so
Puss
I'll talk about
in
it
Boots.
next week.
Yeah, I just got Puss in Boots yesterday. I haven't gotten Hugo
Film's
yet.
got a great sense of humor to it, and I think that's really what makes that thing fly, is the humor in Puss in Boots.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
What else you got?
Let's see. Oh, here's an oddity.
Oddity. A space oddity.
Not quite. It's an ocean oddity. It's called Ocean Heaven. Jet Li doesn't throw a single punch.
That. All right.
It's the story. It's his first starring dramatic role, according to the press release. It's the story of about...
So what is this, like 20 years old?
No, brand new. Brand new movie. Made and released in 2011. He plays a man who has an autistic son, a 21-year-old autistic son. This man finds out he's dying of liver cancer, and so he has to teach his son how to live alone before he dies. It sounds like it would be hell, doesn't it? Come on.
Well, yeah.
With that description, would you want to see it?
He played an autistic in Unleashed.
Right. And he goes. There's a mini extra on the disc where he explains how involved he is in autism causes and stuff. It took me a while to get into this movie because it's very simple and a wee bit over dramatic,
Syrupy.
little syrupy at times. And it takes a long time for you to get used to this guy who plays the autistic son.
Kind of makes me wonder if Jet Li has an autistic son.
I don't know. This guy Wen Zhang plays the son.
Yeah.
And so it takes a while because it's kind of like watching Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man. You can't get over the fact that it's an actor playing a part until about a half hour into this movie, when the performances just clicked in for me and it stopped being this syrupy kind of Lifetime channel story. and turned out to be a decent little movie. Lee gives a good performance, and it ends on it starts on a bizarre note and ends on a grace note. So I liked it. There, I said it. I didn't cry.
This was released in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I mean they don't even have a dubbed version on the disc. It's just do you want it in Chinese or Chinese Dolby, and then it's American subtitles. Because in the press release they call him like his son David, and he has a Chinese name in the movie. They never call him David, but it's worth checking out. And especially because anytime you talk about Jet Li, you talk about he kicked ass.
Right.
He kicks ass in a different way here.
John, we got to get to talking about The Asylum. Yes,
cool.
You read my mind.
It's it's easy to do.
When I put in the disc for Two-Headed Shark Attack, they had the trailer that was basically like a 2-minute, not even that, like a 1-minute compendium of what The Asylum has done to film, in film or to film.
I would say both.
In the past 10 years, something like that.
Wasn't it?
What was it? It was 10 years, 100 movies?
No, I think it's 100 movies in 15 years. Yeah. They crank, and I bet they started slow because they crank them out pretty hard now.
Yeah, and then it's
you
just
get
like
4 or 5
clips of just the craziest scenes, and it ends with the copy, "You're welcome."
And, I'm all for that. I love even the bad ones. I just watch everything they send me, knowing it could be a train wreck. But every once in a while, one floats to the top, and you're like, wow, that's a good movie.
I didn't really have any hope for watching Zombie Apocalypse. But when you watch it, you just kind of get the idea that they're just saying, fuck it, we're just having fun.
Right.
And if you want to have fun with it, go for the ride.
Yeah.
If you want to think what we're doing is shit, fine, that's your opinion. But and I think the actors think that too. Like when we were talking about one of their classics, 2010 Moby Dick.
Oh yeah, with
Bruce Boxleitner.
Oh my God.
Right,
and Ahab.
As Ahab, right. And so we automatically think like, oh my God, now he's hit a career low. This is the career low. But you could think this is Bruce Boxleitner saying, it's work. I'm going to have fun.
Yeah.
We naturally think like, oh shit, this is the end. You think of like Thor Almighty and you think Richard Grieco's in it.
When you think of Zombie Apocalypse and you see it's Ving Rhames.
Yeah.
You're like, wow.
I was actually kind of wowed by the fact that Taryn Manning was in it.
Who?
She was in, oh God, what was that movie? She had a supporting role in the movie with Terrence Howard where he played the crunk rap artist. What was that called again?
Hustle and Flow.
Yeah. I digged it.
And also the Asylum has a habit of casting like aging pop singers to be kind. So Tiffany will show up. Mia Peebles shows up in Battle Los Angeles and kicks ass.
Who was in Battle Los Angeles?
Mia Peebles.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And or they do the other low budget kind of thing, whereas they'll take the brother of a semi famous actor.
Oh, right. Well, that's in another one.
Right.
That's in. Do we want to start with Zombie Apocalypse or we want to go to Two-Headed Shark Attack? This is probably the best edited of the Asylum films, and it's nothing more than the simple premise that a bioterror has been released and the apocalypse has happened. Everyone is turned into a zombie. Zombies are everywhere, except for our small band of survivors here who are trying to get to. Where are they trying to get?
They're trying to
Malibu?
get to
Well, they're trying to get to Catalina Island, but they got to get to the dock in Malibu or something.
Right,
like that
they're stuck in miles away from the shore. They've got to get there.
They're stuck in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah, and they've got to get to the shore to get across to this island where it's kind of like it's the same theme that George Romero had in what was it, Diary of the Dead?
Yeah,
or I'm sure it's been played out in 100 different horror movies where we're at point A, we've got to get to point B, and we've got to go through the roughest, toughest bunch of flesh-eating zombies to get there.
It's just that. It's just zombie killing and decapitation. And there's a few there's a few wow kills
Right.
in this film.
Right.
You
And
know?
even the lesser ones, it's like nice splatter.
Yeah, it's digital blood. The attempts at camaraderie are kind of lame, and the one scene with the women in the forest where you do what you do when you can't use a bathroom.
Right, ladies peeing.
Yeah, and then it's like Ving Rhames was just. I just felt like he was having a good time making this movie. And then in the extra feature they have, which is sort of like the typical Asylum extra features. They give you
a bad gag reel.
Yeah, the gag reel, and then like a 3 to 5 minute making of.
Right.
Which is nothing huge, but it's something. And then the interviews, you got like Ving Rhames' angle on this. Like it's like, yeah, so what? When he comes back into the warehouse and he's like holding up food, he's like, whatever.
I'm making spaghetti.
Right, exactly.
When you talk about the extras, did you see the Amityville 4 or whatever?
No, I haven't watched that one yet. Do they have something different on there?
Well, the funny thing is, because that's a found footage movie, the extras are a mini movie about them restoring the found footage. They never let on that it's anything but the truth. I love that.
We just got Celebrity Sex Tape from the Asylum, so we'll be talking about that next week. One of the things that they have in the extra features on Celebrity Sex Tape that they don't have in the other discs is they have deleted scenes. And you have to watch these deleted scenes. I mean, I know, I'm telling you this because I know you don't like featurettes.
It's not.
But if you don't watch these deleted scenes, you don't get the money shots.
Ugh. Literally?
Well, the special effects version money shots, but the money shots are in the deleted scenes of Celebrity Sex Tape.
I'm a fan of deleted scenes and documentaries. It's just voiceover I can't handle. Commentaries is the one thing I can't
Then that's
handle.
a plus because Asylum does not do commentaries.
Thank God.
As far as I know, I can't think of
who could comment on those movies.
We filmed this scene, the interior of the Titanic, in the Twin Pines Mall.
Yeah. We shoot everything in the same. I swear, the great thing is if you watch enough Asylum movies, you can tell. Hey, I know that. That's the same hallway that Thor ran down. That was the hallway to the submarine, which is this and that. And I don't care about that. That kind of adds to the fun for me.
Or the actresses. One of the actresses I'm really digging is Christine Gwynn. She plays an actress who used to be on a TV series where she played a robot. And so they have this robot sex scene in Celebrity Sex. We'll talk about it next week.
She's in. If you're a fan of her work, and it sounds like you are.
Yeah, but when I say this, I'm interrupting here. When I say this, it's like this is not film criticism. This is just shallow.
Well, no,
just shallow.
You say it like it's a bad thing, Steve.
It's because I would like to talk about Antonioni, Bergman, but then I watch Celebrity Sex Tape.
See, there's not now. Welcome to my dark side,
this
Steve.
Is, one end of the spectrum, the other end of the spectrum.
It's all movies. But Christine Gwynn, who
she's been in a number of
including she does a lot of
I'm surprised that you knew
porn.
This. Yeah.
Why are you surprised I know an actress from softcore porn?
I didn't know it was softcore. When I saw her, I was like, oh, she's the girl from MILF.
She was also in. I think she was in Bikini Frankenstein.
Yes,
she's in the Temple of Eros, which is an awesome movie.
Yeah, Twilight Vamps.
Yeah,
Kaboom.
Yeah, I've seen most of those.
Yeah,
I actively look for her name on when I know there's going to be a.
She's good in Celebrity Sex Tape. It's just amusing.
I bet she is.
Not convincing in any way whatsoever.
No,
can't play a drunk, but she can do the scene.
Right. That's I give her a lot of credit for that.
I would say that because she knows that. She knows what this is about. You know what I mean?
I think they all do. Yeah, I like watching her. I know she's guaranteed to A, take her clothes off, and B, do what she has to do.
She's also in she was in Little Witches, and they had I don't know if it was like a porn version of Bridesmaids, but it was called Girls Over the Edge, Bridesmaids.
I don't know.
All right.
I'll bring you the.
Sex
I
Wars.
happen to own a copy of Temple of.
All right, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I own it. You can borrow it.
Christine Gwynn.
Yeah, hot diggity damn. I'll probably when I'm watching Celebrity Sex Tape, I'll probably recognize more of the actresses than you do.
Probably.
Yeah. Should we go on to Two-Headed Shark Attack?
Yeah, let's do it.
Which is what we talked about before. One of the Asylum things is to get a relative of a semi-famous actor. And you're watching the male lead in Two-Headed Shark Attack, and you're like, he looks like Jerry O'Connell.
But it's not. It's Charlie O'Connell.
Right. The brother.
Yeah.
This wasn't one of my favorites from them.
Yeah. Not even the fake two-headed shark.
That I have no problem with. The fact that there was a mutant
the rubber
two-headed shark with, oh god, the close-ups were embarrassingly funny, and the computer-generated two-headed shark who would jump out and kill 2 water skiers at the same time because they've got 2 heads.
That was just like it was.
No problem
It was
with
a
that.
stunt kill at the beginning.
It's when they were just the characters on the island, and it's like Carmen Electra, who's, I think that someone should check her due date because it's past. They were boring.
She's 39.
She's what?
39.
Well, so
Jack Benny.
yeah, she's the Jack Benny of comedy. No, I think
Well,
it's not that she's
softcore.
old; it's what she does is old. She doesn't do anything here, but stretch around like she's 29.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't add anything to the movie.
Well, she's what, like first mate on this science ship? That,
yeah.
That,
And I couldn't figure
Charlie
out,
O'Connell's.
Is she married to someone on the boat?
I don't know how it works. He's teaching the kids navigation.
Right. He's teaching the sexiest student body you've ever seen. It's hot girls in bikinis and hot guys, with 7-pack abs, who use any opportunity to take their shirts off.
And they filmed this off the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
And
the extras on this are pretty funny. They're just like, yeah, we're down in Florida. We scouted the place.
The two-headed shark starts messing with him. Then they have the I don't know if it's like an autistic nerd kid, but there's an autistic nerd kid in Celebrity Sex Tape. But they have the nerd kid who has all the answers as to why a two-headed shark could exist,
right?
And starts messing with their boat. So they are going to go on a short excursion onto this atoll, not an island.
Not an island. It's an atoll.
Yes, and they make that very clear that this baby's going to sink.
If you ever want to play a drinking game for an asylum movie, take a shot every time they say atoll.
And somehow they're able to discern that this island is going to sink in a few hours, and that everybody on this island, they're the only ones living on the island, but they're all going to be susceptible to being eaten by the two-headed shark, which really kind of looks like this, a bad video game shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't spend a lot of time making this
in a computer.
Perfect.
Amusingly, and they cut from the computer to the. They apparently they built this large rubber set of just the 2 shark heads, and so you can throw the actor into the middle of the 2 shark heads, and they can kind of like bounce around. It's kind of like like an inflatable jumpy castle, except you're in the middle of 2 shark heads.
Or you can climb into their mouth and pretend you're being bitten as the rubber teeth fold on your stomach.
We're also forgetting about one of the other film stars, who's actually the real star of the film. Is Brooke Hogan, Hulk Hogan's daughter. Yeah,
she wasn't bad.
She's the protagonist.
She's a lot less dumb than I thought she would be.
This movie, it just is what it is.
Yeah,
they just made it to have fun.
Again, there's some mastermind at the asylum who comes up with Mega Shark versus Giant Piranha, or Super Croc versus this. And when someone, they're having their Monday morning meeting, what's next, Steve? And you just say, how about a two-headed shark attack? And 6 months later, the movie's done.
Right.
I like that about these guys. I like the fact that they put that kind of energy.
Well, coincidentally, it was directed by Christopher Ray, who directed Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus.
Yeah.
And Almighty Thor. And he's the son of Fred Olin Ray, director of Attack of the 60-Foot Centerfold, and many other
so he grew up in
less than B-movie classics. Yes. Yeah. I'm sure that's only just the tip of the iceberg.
And now the great thing is that I have Netflix on demand, and you can go back and explore earlier asylum movies
I'm just looking
that we've never seen or haven't seen to review.
Because we just started doing the asylum stuff like in the past year and a half.
Yeah. So you get to go back to, they made 100 movies. You get to go back and see some real classics.
Just look at this. This is Christopher Ray's resume. Okay. Zombie Apocalypse, A Haunting in Salem, Camel Spiders, Housewives from Another World, Turbulent Skies, Bikini Jones and the Temple of Eros. There you go, John.
Yep. I've seen every one of those movies you mentioned. I should follow this guy. I should teach a seminar on this guy. Why not?
I gotta getting back to the movie. The kills were pretty amusing.
Oh, and two-headed shark attack.
Bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So bad.
But remember Shark Night in 3D?
Yeah.
That was this movie with a little bigger budget.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah. Shark Night had a bigger budget than obviously Two-Headed Shark Attack.
But what you get here is Brooke Hogan jumping up and down in between all the rubber teeth, in between the two heads of the shark.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and the island sinking. And the fact
Atoll.
that, the atoll. Holy shit. There I go. Atoll. Man, and the fact that, like, all these students who are, just like super hot students, and then there's Carmen Electra on the bridge of the boat. Like, what is she doing? I don't know.
She does like a 3-minute posing thing. She's barely said a word of dialogue, and then you just focus on her stretched out. It's all greased up and stretched out on the bow. Again, that would have been great 10 years ago.
Yeah.
She would have taken off the tank top and shown us a great body. The fact that she's wearing a tank top and shorts and looks a little milfish.
Well, the movie is edited. It's just amusing the way it's put together. It's just.
But you want to see? You would recommend it?
They're in. Would I recommend asylum movies?
Yeah.
That. I don't know.
Oh, I would. I would so much rather sit in front of any asylum movie than some of the artsy-fartsy crap they make us sit through.
Or Tower Heist.
I'd rather.
But here's the thing, like, Sarah knows just by the name alone that when she hears asylum, she rolls her eyes. She's like, "No, I can't do this."
Right. I'm that way with Bergman.
I'm not.
See, it's an acquired taste. I really am that way with Bergman, though. I'm like,
yeah, but
really?
you're giving Bergman a try,
right? And I think
learning.
that some of the Society Boston Film Critics members should give The Asylum a serious try and just realize it's film entertainment. It's not cinema.
Yeah, but it represents the lower end of,
In what way? Just budget-wise, talent-wise, everything-wise? Zombie apocalypse.
This is tough territory. I mean, I cannot make a defense that Zombie Apocalypse it's just absolutely absurd. Would you to say that this is really worthy of, like you'd make the case that, like, freaking Zombie Apocalypse would be worthy of, like, a freaking Criterion collection. It's worthy in the sense that maybe 50 years from now, when, like, the Criterion, when they go back and they put out something like Eyes Without a Face or Robinson Crusoe on Mars or some B-movie schlock or something like that, maybe years from now it can be appreciated like that. But when you watch these movies, we know I'm not going to, like, try and come up with, like, specific examples, but bad when you see bad. I mean, like, there's just some really badly framed shots here. The makeup isn't that great. I mean, but it's not always like that. That's why there's a few diamonds in the rough with The Asylum. There was the, what was that fantasy one? That I can't remember.
The dragon one?
Yeah, the dragon one.
Awesome.
Dragon Crusaders. Yeah. I dig that.
All right, so you dig that. But when the sword fighting girl tumbles and you see she's wearing bike shorts under her dress, does that bother you?
Well, that's
part of the asylum charm to me.
It's probably part of the charm, but I think 99% of the audience would consider that a failure.
Fuck them, because I would rather sit
John,
through. But
it's not.
Wait, I would rather sit through any of the asylum movies, or most of the asylum movies, than that fucking Reese Witherspoon piece of shit.
Well,
which
okay,
was a gazillion dollars
but John,
spent,
but there's a difference.
Great.
There's a difference. That's a studio film. This is an independently produced
film,
Asylum but
Studios.
It's not. Yeah, it's designed in the Roger Corman sort of style of filmmaking.
Right.
Maybe years from now it will be appreciated, but you can go back and watch some of these Roger Corman films now. Like God, what was that Cassavetes one he did in '68? It's just it's bad.
No,
it's bad.
Wait, I think you're confusing bad with budget. These are low-budget movies. I can forgive them a lot.
There is talent there.
Mm-hmm.
There is some really good editing talent. Some of their special effects are kind of amazing. Battle Attack Los Angeles. What was that one? Battle Los
Angeles. Yeah.
The effects in that were actually pretty good. I mean, they have the talent, but ultimately their goal is not, obviously what the Asylum is trying to do is not, they're not going for the art crowd.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe years now. I'm going round and round on this.
No, I think it's just a distinction where this means war isn't going for the art crowd.
How would you present Zombie Apocalypse to the guys at the Boston Society of Film Critics? How would you say, how can you I mean, this is what's wrong. You guys should like this. Is that what you're saying?
No. But I don't think I don't think it should be weighed in the same scale as some of the art movies.
I think generally it's not. It is.
But I have no problem with it being low budget and having flaws. I think again that's part of the charm.
But what if it's designed? Do you think that these flaws are intentional? I don't think there's flaws. Lots of flaws in these asylum films.
I
don't think that they're intentional.
I think some might be. I think some are just a matter of this is the best we can do with this budget. And I think some of them are absolute mistakes, and it's like, fuck it. We've got a deadline. Yeah. We've got $100,000, and it's got to be shot in 2 weeks. And fuck it, put it out.
But that's economics. You see, this is the economics of the film dictating what the actual artifact is going to look like. The artist would be like, screw economics. What I'm concerned about is the perfection of what I'm doing on film.
I would say
that comes
happens.
first, and then. When I can get this right, then I'm going to, most of the time, when I can get this to a certain point, then I'll put the movie out.
I don't think that happens anymore.
It happens.
Name one.
It happens. You can't, it happens, John.
I think Hollywood makes, it's all about the bottom line. I don't think it's got much to do with art and 90%.
Well, I was thinking of independent films. I mean, sure, with Hollywood, you set the release date and then you're building the tracks in front of the train.
You seem to give more credence to some of those cell phone movies than you do to what the Asylum does.
Yeah, we'll take something like The Color Wheel. That's The Color Wheel. Remember the film that we saw back in November at Paramount?
No,
you weren't that. It's a small movie, an intimate film, and it's that director's personal creation. The Asylum is a team of people, that gets movies out on a certain
product
time
to make money.
Yeah.
I understand that, and I appreciate that.
It's the Roger Corman thing. Maybe one can go back and take a look at the critical responses to Corman's films in the 60s and see what they were saying now, back then about, is this art? What is it?
But back then there was also, B movies had their place. Now they don't.
This is definitely B movie.
Yeah, and I miss B movies. I'm old enough to remember double features where you had B movies that were sometimes better than the A and sometimes not.
Yeah, but it's like you can love it, but you still got to be like, oh, come on, this is not.
No, I don't. I don't think you have to be critical about it in that way. I'm not judging it as cinema. I'm just a movie fan.
It is cinema. It actually is.
Well, then everything's cinema and should be judged on the same playing field.
I don't know.
Right? I'm just judging these as fans, as a fan of this kind of movie. Again. I'm not judging him.
We could go round on this. I think of it as an artifact and created by the limitations of the economics, but more severely in Asylum's case.
Maybe
because like when Andrew Bujalski's making a film, that to me is a filmmaker.
Who's Andrew Bujalski? I don't know. Don't look at me like I've got shit on my lips.
I'm not.
I don't know who Andrew Bujalski is.
Beeswax?
Didn't see it.
Mutual Appreciation? Funny haha?
No, nothing. Never saw him.
Okay.
So, but you enjoy those kind of movies.
Yeah.
I can't stand them.
John.
What?
Oh God.
What? I'm not wrong.
We can't. No.
And I'm not.
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I mean,
and I'm not less of.
But it's a different
reviewer.
It's a different kind of product. It's a different.
Right.
All right.
I don't like that product.
All right.
That's Limburger cheese to me. I like American.
Okay.
That's fine. Some people enjoy Limburger.
I don't think like the Asylum films these aren't film festival films.
God, thank God. Although I would go see an Asylum Film Festival. If they should book a house that just shows all 100 movies.
God, we've only seen these on the small screen. God only knows what they'd look like on a big one.
Awesome. To watch Moby Dick jump out of the ocean and bite the helicopter on the big screen, awesome.
I think we're good.
All right.
I don't know where that verbal sparring went. I don't know where that went, but I think we're good.
I do too.
You can listen to all of our episodes online. We're at post-movie.net. And you can visit the Asylum at theasylum.cc. You see all their stuff up there.
I might have to get it like a T-shirt or something.
Yeah.
Shop Asylum.
You ought to.
Yes, wear it proudly. I wear it to like the next artsy fartsy film we have to sit through.
We got to get a picture of you with the T-shirt on the website. Asylum. I'm sure they've got it.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out, theasylum.cc. And if you want to join the conversation, if you have anything to say to us, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. We're at contact@post-movie.net. We're also on Facebook, and we're on iTunes, as I say every show. The more subscribers, the better.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, why not? We're supposed to be giving people joy. The joy of our disagreements.
The joy of cooking. We're going to send this to the asylum, right?
Yeah, sure.
Good. They're going to cut you off the list.
What?
I'll make sure of it. No. I'm just kidding.
The thing is that by virtue of that,
that's more press than they've gotten from anyone.
Exemplified by that trailer at the beginning of Two-Headed Shark Attack. They know what kind of films they create.
And can I just add?
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Until next time, I'm Steve Head.
I'm John Black.
So long, everybody.